She never believed silence could hurt more than words, until she found herself sitting alone at a Christmas-themed cafe, staring at the door as if hope could be summoned. Snowflakes tapped against the windows, delicate reminders that the world outside kept moving even when her world felt paused. Every laugh in the cafe sounded like a taunt, every couple that walked in felt like a reminder of what she didn't have. And still, she sat there, waiting, for a man who had promised he would arrive, in just 10 minutes. 10 minutes had turned into an hour and 23. Her fingers, numb with cold and disappointment, traced circles on the rim of her hot chocolate. It was the only warm thing left in the entire evening. Her date's number went straight to voicemail. His last message, "Be right there," mocked her from the screen. Aisha felt the sting in her chest before it reached her eyes. She hated crying in public. She hated the weakness of it, the exposure. But tonight, the loneliness was heavier than her pride. She pressed her palms against her eyes, letting out a shaky breath as tears escaped despite her resistance. And that was the moment, when her world felt small, tight, and unbearably painful, that she heard the faintest voice beside her. A whisper. Soft. Almost afraid to exist. "Miss, can you be my mom?" Aisha's head jerked up. Standing next to her table was a little girl no older than 6, bundled in an oversized red coat, her big brown eyes glistening with a mix of hope and fear. Her boots were dusted with snow, and her tiny hands clutched a stuffed reindeer whose neck had been sewn back together with mismatched thread. Aisha blinked through her tears, stunned and confused. "Sweetheart, what did you say?" The child swallowed hard and repeated, barely louder than before, "Can you be my mom?" For a heartbeat, Aisha was certain this was some cruel joke, or maybe a misunderstanding. What child walks up to a stranger and asks that? Her eyes darted around, searching for an adult, any adult, but all she saw were busy tables, couples chatting, waiters weaving through aisles. No one seemed to be watching the girl. No one seemed to be looking for her. Aisha knelt down so they were eye level. "Where are your parents, love? Did you come here with someone?" The girl hesitated, then pointed toward the cafe entrance. A man stood there. He was tall, with tired eyes and a beard that looked like it had grown more from exhaustion than style. He wasn't watching the girl, he was watching Aisha. And the moment their eyes met, he looked away, ashamed, as if he'd been caught revealing a secret he wasn't ready to share. The girl tugged at Aisha's sleeve. "He said you looked kind. He said maybe you can help." Aisha's chest tightened. Not from fear. Not from surprise. But from something soft, an emotion she couldn't name yet. "Help with what?" she asked gently. The little girl's lips trembled. "I don't want him to be lonely anymore." Aisha felt her heart shift, literally shift, like something inside her realigned. Before she could respond, the man approached. Slowly. Carefully. As though afraid any sudden movement would shatter what was happening. "I'm so sorry," he said, stopping a safe distance away. "I didn't tell her to say that." "Not exactly, anyway." Aisha stood, wiping the remnants of tears from her cheeks. "Is she your daughter?" He nodded. "Her name is Noor." Noor smiled shyly at her, as though her earlier courage was beginning to fade. "I'm Aisha," she said softly to the child. Then to the man, "And you are?" "Zaid." Silence settled between them. Not uncomfortable. Not this time. More like the quiet pause between one truth being spoken and the next waiting to be uncovered. "She didn't mean to scare you," he said. "She just gets ideas in her head. Especially around Christmas." "How long has she been asking strangers to be her mother?" Aisha asked, trying to keep her tone light. Zaid let out a breath that seemed to carry years of weight. "Only tonight." His voice cracked slightly, betraying more emotion than he probably wished. "Today is the 3rd anniversary of her mother's passing." Aisha's heart dropped. Noor had begun gently brushing the reindeer's ear, as though comforting herself. "I'm so sorry," Aisha whispered. "It's okay," Zaid said. "I thought maybe bringing her out tonight, letting her see people, lights, happiness, maybe it would help. But when she saw you sitting here alone, looking," he stopped, searching for the right word. "Sad. She thought you might understand." Aisha felt her throat tighten again, but not from pain like before. From connection. Unexpected. Uninvited. Yet undeniably real. Noor tugged Zaid's hand. "Can she sit with us?" Zaid looked torn. Embarrassed. Hopeful. Fearful. A storm of unspoken emotions crossed his face. "You don't have to," he told Aisha quickly. "We'll leave you alone. I didn't mean to interrupt your night." Aisha glanced at her cold hot chocolate. At the empty seat that was supposed to be filled an hour ago. At the wasted hope she'd been drowning in. And then she looked at Noor. The girl's eyes held something she recognized too well, longing. A longing not for toys or treats, but for connection. For warmth. For family. "I'd like to sit with you," Aisha said. The relief that washed across Zaid's face was quiet but unmistakable. Noor beamed as though Christmas had finally begun. They moved to a larger table. Noor slid into the seat beside Aisha instantly, leaning close as if they'd known each other far longer than 5 minutes. "She likes you," Zaid said softly. Aisha smiled. "I like her too." And somehow, magically, the evening transformed. They talked. At first lightly, Noor's favorite cartoons, how she wanted to be an astronaut ballerina, how her reindeer was named Captain Snow. Then deeper. Zaid told Aisha he was a single father trying to balance work, grief, and parenting. He'd tried dating, but nothing ever felt right, no connection, no spark, no woman who seemed to understand his life. Aisha listened quietly, then admitted her own truth. "I was stood up tonight," she said. Zaid winced. "I'm sorry. Whoever he is, he's an idiot." Aisha let out a small unplanned laugh. "Yeah. I guess he is." Noor gasped dramatically. "He didn't come. But you got all pretty." Aisha touched her hair self-consciously. "I tried." "You're pretty without trying too," Noor said as though stating a scientific fact. Zaid cleared his throat. "She gets her honesty from her mother." The mention of his late wife softened his voice. Aisha didn't pry, grief deserved respect, but she saw the pain behind his eyes, the kind that had aged him too quickly. Still, there was warmth there too. Determination. Love. Hours passed like minutes. Aisha hadn't smiled this much in months. Noor talked so much the cafe staff brought her free cookies to keep her distracted. Zaid actually laughed, a real laugh, the kind that starts in the chest and spills out before you can stop it. It felt right. Not perfect. Not easy. But right. Eventually, the cafe began closing. Chairs scraped, lights dimmed, the staff politely hinted it was time to leave. "I should get her home," Zaid said reluctantly. "But tonight, thank you. You saved what could have been a very hard day." Aisha looked down at Noor, whose head now rested on her lap, half asleep. "I think she saved my night too." As they walked toward the exit, snow fell heavier, swirling under street lamps like tiny white blessings. Outside, the cold air bit gently at their cheeks. Zaid adjusted Noor in his arms. "Can I call you?" he asked, his voice careful, not wanting to pressure her. "Only if you want. You don't owe us anything." Aisha surprised herself with how quickly she answered. "I'd like that." Zaid smiled. A real, warm, slow smile that made something inside her chest unfold. Before they